Notifications on. Today we got a special live stream with my guy, my mellow, my man, Mr. Beleaf, about why he left CHH. I'm gonna drop that intro one time. Yeah. We are live, in full effect. Salute to all the YouTube band. We on a big boy, the big camera. I got my man Beleaf from Beleaf and Fatherhood.
What's up, man?
Officially declared by some as their favorite Christian hip hop lyricist. I saw that by some OGs.
Some OGs.
Jason O'Neal, Anthony Sims, and
Joey the Jerk and Dwelle.
From LA. Joey the Jerk from LA Symphony.
Yes.
Declared you as one of the best CHH lyricists.
I think he just agreed with someone else. I don't believe that he thought
he
that
didn't necessarily.
himself.
Well, he got way too much ego to declare you as such. If we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Joey.
Shout out Joey the Jerk. I love you, bro.
We love you, but you deserve this.
Let's keep it
you deserve this heat right now, cuz.
So Beleaf, you put out Red Pills Black Sugar. Before that, you put out Theo's Gift. Before that, after that, you put out Beleaf and Fatherhood in 2016. That was your last official album.
You just talking about my solo career. You ain't talking about all the work we did together.
Yeah, we did a lot of work. The breaks from 06 to 2012 is when we officially stopped. Transitioned into King's Dream. Dropped 2 Dream Junkies mixtapes, critically acclaimed. What year did Good Religion came out in 2016?
Yeah.
Beleaf and Father came out in 2017. Right? Yes.
Something Beleaf and Father in Father.
The album, the album. So a lot of people respect you. I say that you, in my opinion, you're every Christian rapper's favorite Christian rapper. I think that's a fair.
Some of the upper echelon of the Christian MCs. Some people would say that I'm one of their favorite. Or at least at a period of time, I was one of their favorites.
Yes.
Which is a very good compliment.
So I've been doing this series on CHH, actually inspired by you, encouraged by you to kind of be more of a voice for this community, which I've been apprehensive towards. But after having a bunch of dialogue, you were like, man, you should embrace it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to embrace it. A lot of my audience likes to hear it. The videos have been doing amazing feedback. So thank you for that. I appreciate you giving me that game. So I thought it'd be no better way than to bring you on and have you share your experience in some of your thoughts. So why, I know there's a lot of reasons, and I have one I want to land on, but why, if you just in your own summation, why did you step away from Christian hip hop as a community? Not necessarily step away from the mic, not step away from Dream Junkies, but step away from Christian hip hop, because you made an intentional shift with Beleaf and Fatherhood.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Well, I felt guilty for wanting to make money.
You felt guilty for wanting to make money.
Yeah, like I feel like in some of this, like in the Christian space, I remember like when we first started doing it, and I was DJing at the Rock one time, and someone was like, yo, you do music, right? You're a rapper. I was like, yeah. And they booked us to like do one of like Miles McPherson's like functions.
Shout out to Miles, bro. Miles, shout out to you. That's the homie.
And so I'm there, and they're like, so do you like rap for God? Do you like rap for money, or do you do it like Lecrae, like rap for God? I was like,
who was making money at the time?
Right. I was like, well, I didn't know I had to make a choice. I didn't know I had to make a choice. Right. And so I feel like there's like this stigma against you wanting to provide.
Talk about it.
And I didn't feel embraced. I didn't feel like I was going to be able to, serve my family and serve my people in that way. Yes. That's one reason.
And that was from day one.
That was early on. Like
from day one, there's a weird toxic thing about making money and being an artist.
That's how I felt.
Okay. No. That's how we all felt.
This is early on. So this is how
we all felt. Why do you think that exists? Because I have my theories. I've been talking about it. Why do you think that exists?
I think it exists because of I don't know. I just think there's something about, Christian some Christian culture that like you want to make sure that you are not too successful or something. I'm not sure, but I know I grew up broke. So it was like, I'm not going to choose a career that embraces being broke.
Being more broke. Why
Like,
would I
we're
do
not
that?
doing that. And so, like, I was like, if I have a choice, like, that's just one reason. Now, that's not the main reason, but I would say, like, early on, I felt like there was something about me wanting to expand what I was doing or get better at the craft without it being, like, for the ministry, the ministry at large and for just the glory of God. Like, I felt guilty for that. And then also, I also felt very limited in how I could do art.
Yes. So can I give you why I think that is?
Sure.
So my theory, and I talked about this, is I think because hip hop was so misunderstood and demonized by the church, because it was so just weird, and we kind of came in it and it got better, and then when G Craig came out, it got worse. It took a nosedive.
Yeah.
Because of weird toxic church culture, just not understanding the culture of hip hop, and thought it was satanic and all this weird stuff, that rappers, us included, myself included, felt this need to overcompensate with the ministry lingo, the ministry angle, and the approach. And it was a season where, like, you had to be able to rap and you had to be able to preach, or it just wasn't going down
or you was not getting booked.
Yeah, or at all. And then it was even a level up where it was like, not only did you have to be able to preach, you had to be able to preach a specific type of theology and read specific books and go to a specific kind of church.
And can I just say, you were very good at that.
I wasn't very good at that.
Yo, you were all things,
all things
to all crowds.
To all crowds.
You were there and you were like, yo, yeah. And so I was like, what are you going to speak about? And you just pull it out and be like, yo, he did it again. It's crazy. And so I was like, man, like, I knew that one day I would kind of be in the front of that, and I didn't think that I would ever be able to do that that way.
I remember one time I had you fill in for me at an event, and it was like a spoken word thing, and you was like, bro, I can't do it. And I was like, what do you mean? And you was like, you just do this thing where you turn the Holy Spirit on when you perform. I can't do it. I was like, what?
Yeah,
like,
man.
you just do this. I was like, I just perform.
And
that was hilarious.
And like, it was a very long poem, and I had like 2 days to learn it, and I'm slightly, like, a lot dyslexic, so I was messing up the words, and it was like a mega church, and it was service after service, just bomb. It was terrible.
Yeah. On Easter Sunday too, of all time.
Yeah.
That was Easter Sunday.
And I stopped filling those shoes for you.
Stop.
For sure.
Yeah, man. At the time, I was on Steph at the Movement. So, okay, so that's my theory. I think there was just like a need to overcompensate, and then that then drove the appetite of the audience. So now the appetite of the audience, it became they wanted their ears tickled with theology and with scripture, and they started going to Christian rappers and Christian hip hop artists as their primary means for spiritual nourishment, which I don't think it was ever intended to be that. And then when you have people that want ministry, and you have people that come from poverty, and there's a disconnect because you go one extreme, prosperity gospel. Everybody's supposed to be rich and have a Bentley, and God wants you to have all the wealth in the world. Or you go to other extreme, which is the poverty gospel. You're supposed to suffer for Jesus.
Yeah, and we would show it wherever we got booked.
Yeah, we was like, yo, we play at prosperity churches, we play at clubs, we play wherever.
Yeah.
And so, that's the other extreme. And I think what we were getting is we were getting the intersection of a lot of that community that came from poverty, and so they kind of projected that, and that was the theology at the time.
But I can't put all of that on the audience and on the market, because I really believe that has something to do with the fact that we didn't know who we were.
Yes.
So we couldn't be like, we don't do those type of shows. I'm sorry. We're not going to come to that church.
Yes. Because
that should have been something that we stood on, and we knew, but for a long period when we just started, we would like, yo, we just want to rock the party, and we just want to have fun.
When you say types of shows, what do you mean?
I mean, there were certain shows we did not belong at. For instance,
give me an example. Okay, thank you.
The Man Up Conference.
Okay, you didn't think we belonged to?
Now, see, this is the problem. Historically, you and I have different perspectives.
We do.
Because you get hype off of
big crowds.
Off of the crowd.
I love the crowd.
Now, if there's 3 people in there who's feeling you, you imagine that the whole spot was like that.
Yes.
But I'm from the DJ. Looking like
you're objectively looking.
I'm looking, and
I'm just looking at the person right in front of me.
Yes,
he's like, yeah,
yes. And so, I think for me, like, I didn't believe that I belonged and I never felt comfortable.
Okay.
In the green rooms, I never felt comfortable. I felt more comfortable in the crowd, sitting down and getting to know the people. And so that was another reason why I just was like, man, I do not feel like I'm supposed to be here.
Do you think there's an unhealthy level of people idolizing rappers and putting rappers on a different platform than they like? You know what I'm saying? Like almost like to the point of Christian rappers specifically.
See, I think it's twofold.
Like idolatry.
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I think there is a thing about that, but I did the same thing with Kanye.
Did, yeah.
You know, when Kanye started wilding out, I was deeply hurt.
Yeah.
And like, not that I was like, I didn't realize how much I cared about Kanye until he started doing things that was anti-black.
Yep.
As far as I was concerned.
Yep.
And so I would say that's normal for any type of genre. I wouldn't say that's specific to Christian.
Okay.
But I
That's
do
fair.
believe there is a large demographic of people who see us as mentors, spiritual leaders, and will use our music and our content as a way to supplement for the scriptures.
Yeah, and that literally, I've been on this. The reason why I'm even having these conversations is like, if I have influence in this community, which apparently I do, I'm going to do everything I can in my ability to drive it to a place where I feel like it's healthy. With the little bit of influence that I have, that's what I'm going to do. And so
that's smart.
the supplement idea, I've been talking about that forever. You remember Benjamin Moore and Tyrone and them?
Oh, yeah.
So Ben used to work at a supplement shop.
Yep.
And
Jimmy worked there too.
Yeah, Jimmy worked there too.
Yep.
And I remember Benjamin was really yoked up, but there was a time where they was kind of going through it financially, and he was just eating and drinking just protein shakes. And he got sick. Like, he had to go to the hospital to get a stomach pump because he got food poisoning because all he was consuming was protein shakes.
Yeah.
He wasn't eating normal food. He wasn't having normal nourishment. And I would parallel Christian hip hop, podcast, whatever, to a supplement. Like it's a great supplement, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a specific goal of protein I'm trying to hit every day, a specific macro goal. So I'm trying to hit that every day. And sometimes it's inconvenient to go and make 3 more pieces of chicken to get that extra 40 grams of protein. So I'll just drink a protein supplement.
Yeah.
But if I just drank supplements all day, that was all my sustenance was supplements, I would get sick.
And let me just say, yo, sometimes we just be saying stuff because it rhymes.
Yeah. That's a fact. Sometimes it just sound fly.
Like,
Sometimes
it just sounds good. It's not doctrine. You know what I mean? So it sounds dope. It's not doctrine. So make sure that you understand that. Like, not, and then it's not across the board. Like, some dudes, like,
they really be praying before they
like
put
really
the pen
be
down.
going
God bless
super
them.
hard, right? And I'm gonna say this name, and I don't want any smoke from you because I know how you feel about this person. But Shylin,
That's the homie.
okay.
I
All right.
smoke
I
for
just don't.
Shylin,
I don't know where you at.
I want to get him
nowadays.
on the channel,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
There's
So,
never been no smoke.
Shout out to Shylin.
Shout out to Shylin.
But
I got to get you on, Shy.
yeah, so I think that like people like him, every single word is placed there for a specific reason.
And
when I think about poets like Jackie Hill Perry, Preston Perry, Ezekiel, Genetics, Joseph Solomon, like I think about they choose their words.
Yes.
Oh, Chris Webb. They choose their words so intently, and I think that there's a place for that.
Yeah.
Now I feel like what they're doing is more
It's ministry.
terrible.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and
ministry.
I asked Genetics, and I was like, yo, it sounds like you're almost approaching these like sermons. And she's like, I am. I approach my spoken word poems like sermons, and I'm approaching it from a place of sermon prep. And it's very calculated and very orchestrated. And their audience is predominantly play in churches for church people.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. I think what became the issue is then that became the standard for anybody touching a mic.
Yeah.
And so that's a great conviction. Praise God. If you feel like God told you to do that, man, praise God, do that. Honor God with that gift, whether poetry, music, whatever. But don't hold an entire community of rappers.
Right.
Don't hold Foggy Raw and What Up RG
Right.
and John Keith and Paul Russell to those standards.
You got to give that artist a place of growth.
Yes.
And shout out to P4CM. I love
people.
Passion
I'm actually
Christ
going to be at
movement.
Rhetoric this year. Shout out to
I was
Rhetoric.
at Rhetoric like 2 years ago,
right?
And I loved being a part of that community. But one thing that was kind of like, kind of threw me off is that one of the questions that they had before the interview was, what are you ministering today? And I just was like, oh, shoot, I'm supposed to have a sermon? Like, I'm supposed to, and like, and I'm not talking about like it was today, like the day of the event was like, what are you ministering? And I was like, I just came to drop some spoken word, like on whatever I'm feeling, you know. And I immediately felt inadequate, and that ultimately is how I feel most of the time. And then so that leaves me as a creative and someone who already struggles with their own insecurities, always thinking that I'm not equipped or I'm not supposed to be where I'm at because I don't fit the mold of all these other people around me. There is a certain type of Christian, there was in like back in the day, not even back in the day, it wasn't that long ago, but as we were coming up, like there was a certain type of person that was embraced, and it wasn't me. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. Yeah. And so for me, it's
a lot of trauma we talking through right now.
Yeah, so I often felt, even though like a lot of the fans supported us, even I would see their equal support for other people, and I'm like, well, how could you like us? Like, how could you like me if this is your standard? And so I really felt it was a lot, man.
This is good. Okay, so you said that was the first reason, the main reason, which I think is going to be very helpful.
I said two, but yeah.
So what's the second reason?
Well, the second reason was I felt ill-equipped, and the first reason was the money situation.
Okay.
And third reason was that I never felt like I had a lot of versatility in what I was able to do.
Okay.
I remember early on when we first went on our first trip. This is our second trip. This is the time we went to Chicago.
Yeah.
And the homie threw up on the side of the car.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And we got lost on the south side of Chicago. I was terrified, and he was ready to fight. I'm like, bruh,
you look scared.
I was petrified.
You had on new Jordans.
I had brand new J's on.
You had on a fur coat.
I was fly.
And we were in the hood, and everybody's looking at Ruslan, and I'm like, man, if you don't walk with confidence,
station, bro. I was like,
if you don't walk with,
just leave?
If you don't walk with some freaking confidence, we're all gonna get robbed. So I just walked out and kind of diddy bopped and did whatever. I'm like, man, let me go get the gas, man. You messing it up.
Beleaf was acting like he had a burner on him in the middle of Chirac.
Yo, listen. If you believe it, they'll believe it. That's what you do when you go to the hood, man.
All right, so the second reason, the money.
Yeah, the third reason is because I didn't feel like I had a lot of versatility. And I remember early on when we were going to Chicago, I would pull out the camera and be like, yo, I'm going to shoot a video. Like, I was always trying to do something else.
Yes. You shot that first video.
And mind you, when we met, what was I doing?
You was cutting hair.
I was cutting hair. I was shooting your pictures.
Yes.
I was cutting Omar's hair. I was like the homie, the roadie. Like I was doing whatever I could do to fit the mold of the community.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And so I had done that for so long. When I was the DJ, I was the MC. I was doing poems. I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just got tired of it. And I was like, what am I really creative for? You know? And so, when I became a father, like everything just kind of
changed. And that's a good thing, because whenever people have kids, especially your first kid, you get this like heavy, like crossroads, right? For me, I was on staff at the church, you know what I mean? I remember finding out Monette was pregnant with Levi, and it was like, yo, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? And then I remember being at the church, she was pregnant with Levi, and I heard a Gary V podcast. Like, this is when he was first starting. Like, he wasn't really booming, and he said, either you're an entrepreneur or you're not. It's like, there's no in between. Either you are or you aren't. If you are an entrepreneur, you will figure out a way to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
Or you because you will hate your job, and you will hate what you got to do for somebody else. And that hit me, and I remember that's why I was having so much trouble. And the church treated me great, like amazing in hindsight, but it was still very difficult to function in that mold. You know what I mean? And so as you've transitioned into YouTube, this is what I love about the YouTube space, is that, one, you're clearly and still unapologetically Christian. Two, you attract not just an exclusively Christian audience. Right. So that's beautiful. And three, there's no weirdo pressure of, how's your ministry, belief, and fatherhood going?
I mean, there is that, but there's
some of that.
So much of the other.
Yes.
It's like,
yes,
it's like a tad bit. Like some people are like, oh my gosh.
Instead of it being the majority,
you
was
bleeped out a curse
ministry?
word on your vlog. Like, oh my gosh, you were just, I'm unfollowing you. Peace, man.
Really?
Yeah, man, peace.
Sheesh.
We never wanted you. Like I don't appreciate the type of standards and the pressure that people want to put on me. Like I feel it as an insult. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just met me or just came across my content, and you expect me to fit what you think I am, but you didn't get to know me and figure out who I was. So now I have to fit your mold? Like, no, I'm sorry. I can't do that.
What percentage? Like, I felt like that was
very small.
Yeah. In Christian hip-hop, that's the majority of the audience. The majority of the 51%.
Yeah,
51% is like, if I bleep out a cuss word on a song, if I say something that, you know, I'm speaking from an emotional place, and it's not necessarily doctrine and theology and who I am in Jesus, but this is who I am in my flesh, and I'm putting that in the art on purpose. Like 51% of the audience is going to be like, bro, what are you doing? I think you need to pray. But there, it's like instant DM accountability.
Yeah.
On YouTube, it don't seem that way.
It doesn't seem that. It's a little small hint of it, but
it's like what, 5%, 10%?
Not less than that.
Less
it's
than
like
that.
2%. Like
yes.
But it's not. But those type of things don't give me power. Doesn't take anything away from me. But I am interested in knowing why people feel like they need to put that type of legalism. Because man, I don't tell nobody what to do. Like, you do what you feel like you need to do. If you ask for advice, I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
But I'm not gonna I don't like people use the N-word, and I'm like, wow, that was bold. You know what I'm saying?
You mean
but
non-black people?
Yeah, like non-black people. But I'm like, who am I to tell another man what they should and shouldn't say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, the homies gonna have a problem with it, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yes.
But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not tripping. I know who I am. You know. So, I don't think there's a toxicity in Christian hip hop that is that is not everywhere else. For instance.
Okay.
You look at the purest of hip hop.
Yes. Oh yeah.
When Talib Kweli collabed with, I don't remember who
Young
it was.
Thug or someone. No, Gucci.
It was Gucci Mane.
Gucci. I actually lit Talib on Twitter up for that, and me and him went back and forth.
I lit up Common for something crazy too, like years ago, because I was a purist and I was like, "How dare you? And you should have never in your life." You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that was wrong of me. You know what I'm saying? But we were like that.
Yes.
A bunch toward these other secular things. And so believers, because it hits their soul and they use it as a, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't choose how people are going to use your content.
Right.
That's why when we talk about Protect Your Genius, which is a video I did before.
Which y'all should all go watch, yo.
Yeah.
That Protect Your Genius video, which you said might turn into a book someday or a course or something, is amazing, and everybody needs to watch. Because it sounds, when I first heard it, what I thought you were saying was that, like, everybody's operating at genius level, right? And it was like kind of like fluffing people up. And I was like, nah, a bunch of these dudes is trash. You know what I'm saying? And they need to work through the process and they need to get mentored. But then when I actually sat down and watched the video, I was like, yo, this is really good. So it's not what y'all think. Like, it ain't on no, like, everybody's Kanye, protect your genius. Because that's how I interpreted it. Yeah. And then I actually heard you break it down. And it was so good. Go ahead. I don't even know.
So like, the Protect Your Genius thing is like, you have to understand that once you make, basically, the Protect Your Genius is, there's 5 stages of release. You release things on 5 different stages.
Yes.
And the first stage is in your mind. The last stage is virality. It's everywhere. During like the third stage, which is your audience, giving your art to your audience, the fourth stage is your audience. It's no longer yours.
Yep.
So when you release a song or you release a video, that belongs to the people now.
Yes.
For them to get upset about it, that's between them.
Yep.
And that's why Kanye is so genius, because all he's doing is releasing content, whether it be on TMZ, whether it be a song or whatever, and he's allowing us to argue about it. But he's never going to stop doing the thing that he knows is right in his mind. Yep. You know what I mean?
So Kanye came up 3 times now in this discussion. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but did you see some of the Sunday service stuff from Coachella? What'd you think?
I saw them. I saw it. It looked fine. You know what I mean? I don't get moved by that type of stuff anymore.
He hasn't won you back yet?
No. I kind of know what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, he's very smart. And so, though I respect him as a creator, I don't hold him to the same standards as who I thought he was before, which is like, yo, you represent black men in America, like, act right. Yep. You know what I mean? I see him as a creator of different things on multiple mediums, and some of those things are trash, and you will buy it because you are a stan.
You're not rocking with the Yeezys?
I think I've never tried a pair of Yeezys on. I saw a pair of Yeezys, like a few pair I liked, but I can't buy them. Yeah. You know, I just can't. You know what I mean?
Somebody asked, and I think this is a fun question, but
first of all, the merch for Sunday service was beyond garbage.
You didn't like it?
Did you?
Did you see the Alex Medina posted church clothes?
Yes. And
Look
then
great. And like, wait, Andy. It's like,
yo, the holy, like all of it, it's brown. It looks terrible.
You know, the worst part about it to me, because some of that is like I get what he's trying to do. It's like aesthetic, whatever, right? The worst part about it is that he prints all his merch on Gildan t-shirts and Gildan blanks. It's literally the bottom of the barrel cheapest. And I know this because I've seen Yeezus merch, I've seen Pablo merch, and it's all printed on the cheapest. I'm more offended by that, like, than the quality of the designs. Some of that is kind of subjective, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But you enjoyed what you saw of it, like.
I
in
like
terms
what
of
I
like
saw.
the intersection of faith and where he was at, like DMX coming out and Bentley was there and all that kind of stuff. Did you see that stuff?
I heard about it. I didn't watch the full thing. What's your point?
I'm just curious your thoughts.
I don't really. I kind of like, it's like eating something that's really bad for you, but everybody likes it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't appreciate it.
Really?
Nah, I don't appreciate it. I feel
so somebody asked in the comments, and I this is a funny question, but they said, why be more offended of Kanye letting down his role as like representing black men instead of being more offended of him wilding out as quote unquote Christian?
I never really viewed Kanye as a Christian.
Go on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I viewed him as someone who talked about faith, enjoyed faith. Who was, maybe grew up Christian, you know what I mean, and knew what was marketable and saw a clear open lane. And so he attacked the lane. He's never shown me evidence of his faith.
That's good.
By what I've seen from him. Even by his music. Like, I never was like, oh, he's a believer.
He's not a poster child for Christian men in America.
Right, exactly. Now, when you look at someone like, and at the same time, I have more grace for someone who's, because faith is hard. Excuse me.
You want some more water?
Faith is hard. Nah, I'm good. Faith is hard. Being a father is hard. Like, I understand when you mess up as a father and you have to apologize for doing something crazy and apologize to your kid. Or if you mess up as a spouse and you're like, yo, I'm sorry, I'm new at this.
Yep.
I understand that. I'm not holding him to that standard. My thing is, you know how to be a good artist. Yeah. You know, you've given us countless opportunities and countless things that we love, and you know what's acceptable. You know what's great, and you know what's not. Yeah. The thing is, he knows what you'll pay for. So I feel like he's just playing everybody, and I just don't like the games. Yeah. So I can't participate.
From an attention standpoint, he's killing it. Like, consistently dominating.
He will never not
attention. I think that is, to me, what makes him a genius, is the way he's able to finesse attention and less of his caliber of music, because he is very hit or miss with the music. And I'm like a big Kanye fan.
Now listen, I don't have no problems like Kanye got problems. Right. Like, Kanye's at a different level of success. Level, he's on a whole nother, his thought process is super different. And if I sit down and listen to a lot of stuff longer, after a while, I'll be like, oh, I get it now. Yes. But I just can't play the game. Yes. Because I'm at my level, and my level affects my family and affects the things that I care about.
So this level, we're talking about the intersection of family, success, balancing these things, the expectation of people, Cash trying to be your accountability partner in the DMs. Don't do that, please. God, please do not. You are not anybody's accountability partner. Do not send them weirdo DM messages. That's goofy. What advice do you have for young aspiring Christians who are looking to get into rapping, or in general, like, getting into music? What, like, in this era, with your hand on the pulse of what's happening, you're a YouTube creator for change. Multiple brand deals from Disney to every Stitch Fix, all these different companies.
BMW, that's my favorite.
BMW, gosh. What is your advice? Like a big takeaway.
Like,
having gone through everything you've gone through.
Yeah.
And now you're in a place where the YouTube is doing amazing.
Yeah, diversify. So
elaborate.
If you start something, if you want to be a MC and you're rhyming and doing your thing, make sure that you're also using these different mediums. And this is going to hurt, because this is going to expose a lot of you. Most of you who are like, oh, I just want to rap and I want to get signed to a label and I don't want to rap about the business stuff, you're lazy. Like, you are completely lazy. There's at some point, and I was lazy, and I'm telling you this as a brother, because I was, where I would let Ruslan do all the hard stuff, and I'd be like, well, I just kind of show up. Just tell me where to go, and I'll show up. I have to do all the business now. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point when you're a big boy, you got to put on your big boy pants and you got to do big boy things. And so you have to take care of the business and the taxes and the freaking W-9s and all the other stuff and the relationships and the networking. Like that doesn't go through someone. Like you handle all of that.
Yeah. And
so you being responsible for your social media, your rhymes and all that. It's just laziness right now if you're not attacking this moment. And it's gonna be like that, and it doesn't have to be, but and another thing, this is one thing that we learned together is that, inspiration is a muscle. It's not something that you get when it comes and you use it.
Yeah.
Like you summon that thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you summon
Preach.
it.
Come on.
When you get it, you're relentless about it and you work off the momentum.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like since I've been a stay-at-home dad, I've always been inspired when my kids were sleeping. Mm-hmm. I get inspired when I'm available when I'm able to create. When I finished Red Pills and Black Sugar, my first album, my wife was like, "How many songs on your record?" I was like, 13. It's like, when did you have time to make 13 songs?
When y'all was asleep.
You know what I'm saying? While y'all was sleeping. And that was the biggest compliment to me because I'm like, yo, she didn't even notice I was gone.
When I dropped a video called Inspiration is for Amateurs about 2 years ago, some of my friends were so mad at me. Mm-hmm. And I got so many like, what do you mean? This inspiration, I have to feel it. I have to feel my soul. And then it's like, as you progress and you talk to anybody who's progressed to a level of this being their livelihood, that is one evidence of truth. Because it never, you build momentum, but it never gets, it's never easy for me to get my butt up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, it gets easier, but the bed always feels more comfortable. Sitting here on Instagram or World Star Hip Hop always feels more comfortable than getting up and writing a rap or mixing a song. Like, it's always the road of least resistance will feel the most comfortable. You know what I mean? So I love what you said about the business. I feel like at this stage, if Cass is saying they don't want to learn the business, I just want to be an artist, I don't want to learn the business. That's like saying you want to kill it in your finances and never do a budget.
Yeah.
That's like saying I want to be debt free. I want to have a killer finances. I want to buy a home someday. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not really going to do a budget. I'm just going to wing it.
It's like I want to marry this girl, but I'm not willing to take her on a single date. I'm not willing to buy her a ring.
Come on.
I'm not willing to meet her parents or do anything like that. Yep. I just want to get married.
Yep.
And I want her to say yes.
Yes. And
she should say yes because I want it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, that's what it is, man. I think cats are lazy, and it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay for now. Like, if you're lazy, just say you're lazy. Just admit it. But don't sit up here and get mad because cats are sleeping on you. Like, I was that guy who was like, yo, people are sleeping on me. They don't get it. They don't get it. I'm nice. I'm better than this person. I'm better than that person. And it's all pride. And that's another thing why I left Christian hip hop.
The ego.
Pride.
Yes.
Pride got to me bad because I'm sitting there like, yo, God, what are you saying? Because I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can hear, I can see, and I'm like getting upset with the community and blaming it on whoever. And I'm just like, man, it's really not that serious. Like, right now, with what I'm able to do with Beleaf and Fatherhood, what I love, you know what I'm saying, is that I get to connect with people who have not been able to see the evidence of what it's like to be a dad. And I still get to rap. I still get to drop a song if I want to. I have better relationships with the producers and have more favor with a lot of the people that, was competition before. Yeah. And so when you go outside the box, I can walk in a room and see a whole bunch of influencers there and be like, yeah, I'm an MC. And I totally switch the culture of the room to make me look like I'm in demand. And when I step into another room and I step in a room of rappers, I'm like, I'm not on this. I do YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, good. I am different
that's
now.
Good.
And so you can be all this stuff, but you can't skip the mediums.
Can't skip the hard work.
Yeah, you can't skip the consistency.
Work, man.
And so I left because honestly, like, I don't think it was going to be beneficial to my future and my wife and my family.
That's good.
If I wanted to become someone who had to leave my family to be successful, I would have probably had to play the Christian rap game a little bit longer.
Yep.
If I had to be someone who had to pretend to be in community with people I'm not in community with, I would have to, play along to that realm, because I'm seeing a lot of people in the Christian rap sphere like pretend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. And it's just not fair.
Yep.
There's several reasons why I left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pick one.
I appreciate you breaking all that down. I think as people are walking away from this, one, hopefully they understand that, like, cats got families. You know what I'm saying? Cats got families. Cats got responsibilities. Dudes is trying to create video content, create YouTube content, and then just be a husband and a dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's important, and you've been having this discussion. I want you to talk about like the Patreon and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, they know we got a Patreon, but talk about your Patreon, how people could support you, because I think that from just a logistical standpoint, you guys want fly music, you guys want dope videos from different creators, like you gotta put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta support these dudes. You posed the question, what is a video worth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got a wide spectrum of responses. When I think the thing that we're all hoping for is that, like, yo, we just want to make a living. We want our wives to be happy. You know what I'm saying? We want our kids to grow up.
I used to think like that. I don't want that anymore.
You don't want that no more?
No, I want way more than that, because I realized that before me, there were other men who dropped the ball. So we have to do makeup work.
We have to go above and beyond.
We have to do makeup work for our aunties and you know what I'm saying, the people before us. So yeah, I do have to make sure my family's straight, but I also got to make sure my extended family's straight.
Yes.
And then the family after me straight.
Yes.
So I'm not sitting up here like, oh please, I just want to survive.
Yeah.
I'm off that.
You want next
I
level.
need it all.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it for for everybody.
Yeah.
And so
how can they support you?
Yeah, so I'm on Patreon /BIF. Belief, it stands for Belief in Fatherhood, and there you'll get, I post about 5-minute videos on YouTube, but there you'll get extended content, you'll get early content, you'll get stuff that doesn't even come out yet or may never come out, see the light of day. You get to know the chocolate babies. On there too. Music. Sheesh. It's a lot. Like I give a lot.
Y'all been asking for music.
Yeah, I give a lot away on Patreon. And you can start for like $1 a month. So it's not even that much, $12 a year. And you can support us there, and it would really help us out a lot. And also give you a lot of feedback. So I'm doing this thing right now with a lot of my patrons. I'm hopping on the phone with them, talking to them, getting to know them. And I talked to a kid named Grayson today. He's 7 years old, and he was just telling me how much he loves my videos. And it's really cool. Like, so that's
patreon.com/BIF. BIF. Of course, we have a Patreon, King's Dream. You can check that out. Exclusive content, exclusive videos. You get to cut the line for Fan Love Friday, which is happening tomorrow. We're doing it on a Thursday because I'm at Legacy Conference Friday and Saturday. And then you get a Zoom call with me every Sunday night. And so if you guys want to support, you know how to support. All these links are in the description.
Boom.
Make sure y'all follow Beleaf on social media. Follow me on social media, all that good stuff, man. We appreciate you guys. We really do love you guys. And we hope having this conversation adds value and gives you some context and perspective.